Hey everyone, welcome back. We're diving deep into Bronny James's journey with the South Bay Lakers today.
Yeah, there's been a lot of buzz about his progress, especially with this back and forth between the G League and the NBA.
Right. Like, what's the deal with that? Luckily, we've got this article breaking down his recent game and some of the choices the Lakers are making.
It'd be interesting.
Definitely. So let's get into it. First things first, we got to talk about this game against the San Diego Clippers.
Okay, yeah.
Bronny dropped a career-high 16 points.
Oh!
South Bay won 119 to 111. On paper, that sounds pretty good, you know.
It does. But you got to look a little deeper.
That's why you're here, right?
Exactly. And this article does a good job of that. Yeah, he scored 16 points, but he shot 6 for 15 from the field.
So not the most efficient night.
Right.
Yeah.
And for a guard, efficiency is, like, everything,
Right.
especially in today's NBA, you know?
Makes sense. It's not just one game, right? The article mentions he went 0 for 4 from three-point range.
Okay.
Seems like that's been a bit of a trend.
It has, and that's a bit of a concern. You look at the top guards in the league, guys like Steph, Luka, their three-point shooting is a huge part of what makes them so dangerous.
For sure. Do you think that's something that could really hold Bronny back?
Well, it's tough to say. I mean, he's still young, definitely has time to improve.
Sure.
But if we're talking about making an impact on a team like the Lakers...
With those championship expectations.
Yeah, exactly. That three-point shot has got to be there. It has to be a threat.
Okay, so maybe the scoring needs some work, but he did some other things too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
4 rebounds, 2 assists.
Yep.
Not too shabby for a guy who's, supposed to be a scorer.
Not at all. And I think those stats, they tell us something interesting. They show us that he's willing to contribute in other ways. Hustling, playing team basketball. That's something any coach is going to love.
Right. It shows he's not just out there chucking up shots.
Exactly. But again, got to remember the context. This is the G League.
It's not the NBA. Okay, so that brings us to what I think is the most interesting part of all this.
What's that?
This whole shuffling thing. The artist talks about how Bronny's splitting time between the NBA and the G League. And he's only playing home games for South Bay.
Right.
What's the logic there? Is this like some genius strategy? Or are they, I don't know, babying him?
Well, it's definitely caused some debate. The Lakers, their side of it is they want him to get used to the NBA environment, the travel, the practices, all that.
Makes sense.
But they also want to manage his development, control his minutes, maybe even shield him a bit from the media frenzy.
Being LeBron James's son can't be easy.
No kidding. And playing only home games gives them more control over the practice schedule, more time with coaches.
Yeah, I get that.
But on the other hand, some people argue that he's missing out on valuable experience.
Like those tough road games in the G League.
Exactly, where you really got to prove yourself.
It's a tough call. You want him to develop at his own pace, but sometimes you need that trial by fire.
Exactly.
So with all that in mind, what does all this mean for Bronny's future with the Lakers? Can he really help them win another championship?
That's the million-dollar question. It's hard to say for sure. He definitely has the potential. The genes are there. The athleticism's there. And the Lakers are clearly investing in him.
They are.
But that shooting needs to improve. And honestly, he needs to show that he can handle the pressure of playing for a team with those sky-high expectations, especially in a city like LA.
So much pressure.
Yeah.
Well, we've covered a lot today, but before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. Do you think this shuffling strategy is going to help or hurt Bronny in the long run? And what kind of impact do you think he can realistically have on the Lakers' quest for another title?
Yeah, good questions.
It's a story that's just beginning. Definitely going to be fascinating to see how it all plays out.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
See you next time.